Whisper, he's flying! Yes! There's history!
Now in front, the crowd roaring, go, Monroe, go! But the 3-year-old in front, they'll say it! Long way, he's coming! He's going to get there! Yes, Monroe won it! Proud by Whisper. My Whisper won the last.
Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast. I think Matty's cut out, so we're just going to keep going. We're just having a few difficulties with Matty, but welcome to another episode, guys. Australia Day weekend. Some racing around the valley again this week. 7-day backup. Welcome, Matty. You haven't connected with audio, Matty. Now you should be good.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. I was just talking about the upcoming. We're just racing at the Valley.
Very good. No, we are indeed. And apologies, might be a little bit dodgy internet connection, as you can see behind me in the Bellarine Peninsula, and enjoying the surrounds. But yeah, internet might be a little bit dodgy, so I might be cutting in and out. We will do our best. Looking forward to the Valley on Saturday.
Yes, just have a chat to the local mayor, mate, about updating their NBN supplies so they can get the award-winning podcast up and running on time.
It's all right. They've got a few other awards going on down here.
Oh, this could be loose. Last week, we were at the Valley. It was a pretty good episode for the listeners, for us. Matty, you found citizenship on the Friday night at Canterbury.
Yeah, amazing to drift out to $4. So I think last time before it got scratched, we were going to need to take about $1.60. So when I drifted out to $4, I was super happy to play again. And I think it's definitely one that will be finding some room in the portfolio moving forward.
Yeah, it was interesting when we were watching it on Sky, and they just weren't giving us an inch. They just didn't think it was that good. We thought we read the race right with Timmy Clark going forward. There was no mention of that on the show. But yeah, once they pinged, and we're like, oh, we're sitting where we wanted to be.
Absolutely. No, I think it's got some class, and I think we'll be seeing it in metropolitan races very shortly.
Yeah, I'd like to see it down in Melbourne because it trialled like a jet in Melbourne. So, yeah. What would I know? They're the best training combination at the moment. They won't listen to me. We moved to Saturday. The multi got up because Citizenship ran a drum for us. Mahagoni ran an absolute pearler, finished third, and Shuffle Dancer knotted at $1.50. Well, it was $1.90 when we mentioned it. So the multi saluted back to back.
Mate, back-to-back multis. We must be on a roll. So we're going to go again and find another one this weekend. And I think there's a little bit of value in there too.
Yeah, there definitely is. We also found Dance on Dubai. Just played. The track played perfectly how we thought it was going to play. Sacred Palace, did he give us a shout on the corner? Got right up behind the leader. I didn't expect it. I wanted it, but yeah, just no one wanted to go to that fence for some reason. And he sniffed up behind the leader and just couldn't get past, which is always the case at the Valley. And the Pineapple saluted with unflinching. Amy McLucas, one ride, one win. She's a gem.
Absolutely. That was a very, very convincing win too. So nice for you to hold on to the Pineapple for this week. I had a couple that I would have minded putting towards a Pineapple, but interested to see where you go this week, Worm.
You tried your very best for me not to have the Pineapple this week, but I've stayed strong. And Amy McLucas, she did the right thing. She just held on, let it go at the right time. I wasn't nervous when going around the corner, but yeah, when straightened up, no, weren't getting past her. She rode it perfectly. Good on her, good to see, and she's back up in Sydney now.
No, that's it. Look, while we're on Sydney, Irish legend, I need to call this horse out. It was in Mahagoni's race. Led all the way. I thought it was no chance against that field to lead all the way. That was truly sensational effort. So I think, it's definitely going to be one to watch. Irish legend in terms of horses that are capable to absorb pressure from very, very good horses.
Yeah, definitely. And then was it Pagagoretti that you tipped in Sydney? Was a little bit disappointing. Pagagoretti? Garotti?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Passagetti.
Oh, that's it.
Passagetti. Yes. Yeah, no, that was. Look, the only nervousness we had was around that race was the number of starts it had. And I think that may have been the issue. Yeah, look, it was exceptionally disappointing. So no, look, I'd be interested to see where they're going to go with that one. Passagiati, Bjorn Baker. I wouldn't be surprised if they put it out for a spell and we see it a little bit later, potentially a little bit of winter racing, I'd imagine, for Passagiata.
Yeah. I just think the outside barrier just couldn't get across that quickly and just had to do a little bit more work, and it didn't go down by far. So it wasn't like it was a poor ride. It just didn't go its way, I feel. And you can definitely follow it if you can draw an inside barrier and just hunt straight to the rail. It'll be winning some races definitely in the winter, as you said.
Yeah, but it was Lucky Variety, Chris Lee's horse that won that. And yeah, definitely didn't have that in my numbers, but it was only a rate of 66, and it definitely showed them a thing or two. Had a little bit of turn of foot, which was good to see.
Yeah, definitely. Talking points this week, there hasn't been much news, so I just thought I'd talk about today's meeting, Thursday at Sandown. I was watching them online, and I couldn't believe some of the goes that were happening. I haven't seen some of these goes since I Wish I Win was first up at Caulfield, when that day they really took a set to a few, and yeah, they cleaned up these people that moved the market. Like race 2, Amigo, 19s into 6 was a late scratching for Moody 2-year-old. Definitely had me scared when I was on the instructor. I couldn't believe the go. I couldn't get my head around it. Then race 5 or race 4, I think it was, Tabe set, the other 2-year-old, as 11s into 6s for Kieran Maher, Dave Eustace. Was unplaced. Off its jump outs, I thought 11s was the right price, but $6, I was like, no, where's this come from? Race 6 on the lead, 650 into 380, came second. I think it was just a poor ride from Willow. So they could have got that one right. And then race 7 to top it all off, Climbing Star, $9 into 460, off a good jump out, I thought. I thought $9 was the right price, and it was unplaced. So they barely get them wrong, these big markets, when they have a crack. And there were some really strange goes, and I still can't get my head around how they've found these. As I said, I Wish I Win was the last time these markets were moved so much, and it was doing my head in watching it because it scared me out of one bet. Today was just full of weird betting moves, and I don't know if I'm ever going to find out why as Matty leaves the podcast. Track stats, as we said. Oh no, he's back. Matty, you wanted to talk about a few horses for this upcoming autumn, I guess, or previous winners were found. Oh, he's cut out again. Give him a couple of more seconds to see if he reloads. If he doesn't, we'll move over. Oh no, he's connecting. You got me.
We're back. Fingers crossed it lasts.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, you wanted to talk about some horses that we found or into the future. Oh no, he's gone again. So we'll move on. Track stats, Rail True, the Valley. I think it's going to play like it did 7 days ago. I think the whole race is 1,600 and under. We're going to look for horses on speed. I think the rail will be the place to be with a hot day predicted Saturday. It's been playing quite even before last week, but now with the hot weather, I think it's going to play quite even. 2,500 or 1,600 meters plus, I think it's going to play quite even. But yeah, the sprinting to 1,600. Look for horses on speed. close to the rail as you can. Speed maps will be all important, so we'll chuck up a few speed maps as we preview races 4 and 6. So yeah, trial trackers this week. Give me a thumbs up if you've got me, Matty. Trial trackers this week. Race 7, number 5, Jigsaw. Surprisingly, he's gone back to the jump outs after his nice win at Sandown. Loved his jump out after its last start victory, and the jump out was against Star Patrol and Marabi, who are both class runners. Now, Star Patrol's come out and won on Thursday at Sandown. So I thought Jigsaw had their measure in the jump out. If he brings that jump out to race day, they will not be beating this horse. So you'll see it on the replay. He wins his jump out. I think second was Star Patrol down the outside, and third was Marabi, who's a Group 1 winner and look, could be anything. I'll go to race 6. Matty wants to preview race 4. We'll give him a chance to log back in. Race 6. I'll just write some notes down. The odds we've got here, pretty competitive race we've got for the benchmark 70, 1,200 meters. Top odds we'll go through. Luna Cat favorite 370, Croatia $4.20, Little Miss Cuba $5.70, Danny St. Darcy $8.60, 3 Wonder Woman $8.60, and then you can have $16 the rest. Number 3 here, Wonder Woman, double accepted for Adelaide as well. So if it runs in Adelaide, I definitely can make this a bet. Looks a lot easier than this race. So if they go to Adelaide, Wonder Woman, I think we can be backing in, I can't remember what races. As you can see on the speed map below, if Wonder Woman runs here, there might be a little bit of pressure up front with Donna Natali, Snappy Little Thing, and even Little Miss Cuba and I'm Divine camping right behind them. But I'm pretty keen here to get involved with number 6, Luna Cat here. I really like the horse and the form lines as Matty puts the absolute lights on himself here. I like his form lines. SP $4.80 against Pinstriped here, Luna Cat. Was unlucky not to finish a lot closer that day. Has beaten Danny St. Darcy. And as you can see on the map, I've mapped him right behind the leaders. That's best case. Worst case, I reckon he'd be one back further. Love to jump out because, love to jump out before its first up run. And then first up, I think they just lost sight of the bunny. Best last 800, 600, 400 home of the race, and second best last 200 of the race. Barrier caused them to go back. They went quite fast up front, so that's why they pretty much lost sight of the bunny, and you won't see it in your TV until the last 200. Plus, the second horse out of that race was Unflinching, who came out and won last week for us. I feel this is an easier race, has class edge. I am worried about number 2 here, Croatia. He's a clear danger. I think he has a lot of talent. This prep has been really good. I still don't know how it didn't win last start. But as you can see on the map, I've got it 3 wide, and 1,200 meters is quite a turning track at Moonee Valley, short little straights. You don't want to be 3 wide. But this horse, as I said, has some talent to win it, but I'm just worried about its map. Number 10 here, Little Miss Kubi. To the eye, looked the winner on last start, but folded up late. Couldn't work out why. Then I looked at the sectionals, and J-Car, I think, just got it wrong. Went 11.64 between the 6 and the 4, and then 12.04 to the 4 to the 2. That's a huge burst, and that's why it folded up late. So if Jamie can correct it, she knows the horse a lot better now. It can definitely have its chance to win. But I'm keen here, Luna Cat. Matty, your thoughts for race 6?
Mate, Danny St. Darcy, Luna Cat, have they raced before?
Yeah, they did. I reckon they've met on 2 occasions now, both at the Valley. Yeah, they did. Dennis, so the first one, Danny St. Darcy beat Luna Cat by 1.5. There's not much difference in weights that day. They both SP'd around the same money, same price, around the $5 mark. That was 12 months ago. And then December 2021, Luna Cat beat her by 3 lengths.
Yeah, Lunacat just brained them. I think Danny Darcy got held up in that race.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think yeah, I would have landed on the same horse, but I also do think that Danny Darcy at the $8.59 mark definitely. I'll be having a 2-bet play in this one with both of those two. I know Luna Cat beat it convincingly last time they met, but yeah, Danny Darcy definitely got held up. I'd definitely be worried about the draw. Your thoughts on barrier number 1 for it?
Yeah, look, barrier 1, as we watched a lot of Valley last week, it can be either really good or it can be really bad. And I think that it can be a bad one if you don't lead. We've mentioned in the podcast before, barrier 1, you either lead, you don't sit in no man's land and sit midfield, especially at the Valley, because you're just going to be held up, and everyone's going to blame the jockey, but it's actually the barrier. I think you've got to be a good jockey from barrier 1. Selena Gaudry, she's riding really well. She's been really competitive, and I think she's riding at her best at the moment. But it's gonna just have to be something special to get out. There might be with the map, like Snappy Little Thing. It's not the best horse if it finds the front. It's not going to take you a long way into the race. That's why I'm just leaning just off him with Luna Cat.
Yep, I can definitely see how you've landed there. I think it'll be an interesting race, but yeah, nice to land on Luna Cat, playing about the 350, 360 mark.
Yeah, good price. I thought it'd be 280 when they opened, but we're getting a good price. So I don't know how the market will go. I think they'll come for it, but yeah, what would I know? I get a lot of the markets wrong. Race 4, Matty, you want to dive into?
Yeah, mate. Now I had a look at this one late yesterday and this morning, and that was before Alpha 1 race today. And realistically, with Alpha 1 still in this race, I thought there was going to be 3 horses going towards the lead, and that would have been Command Approver, Alpha 1, and Spacewalk. But we'll get to that in a moment. Have you got the odds there for us, mate?
Yeah, I do. Favorite is Spacewalk, 270. Number 4, Command Approved, $4. Number 3, Bistro, $4. Number 5, Fishing, $8. Number 7, Capital Theatre, $8. And you can have Clarity at $13.
Thank you. Yeah, look, interesting assessing Alpha 1. Now, I know it raced today and didn't go too well. You look back at August last year, it was half a length behind Giga Kick, and that was over 1,100 metres. Last start, it started at 210 and faded exceptionally badly over the last 100, 150, and just went a little too bad. And clearly the owners didn't take too well to that, moving it from Snowden across to your favourite trainers in Natalie and Trent. So look, I thought from barrier number 2, it would have been pushing forward with Command Approved and Bistro. Now it's gone. I think Command Approved and Bistro probably go side by side. I think Command Approved from barrier number 1. Look, it could be a good place to be. The rail being in a true position. And then Spacewalk's an interesting one. Jamie Carr on board. I definitely had it running up in Sydney. But if it does run here, I can see it just sitting behind Command Approved and also Bistro, and being able to now peel out 3 wide, which I was thinking could have been 4 wide if Alpha 1 was in, and that might have been a little too tough. If they do run on the Valley, I think it's going to be exceptionally hard to beat. Now, I underestimated this horse last start when Maria Mia won, and Spacewalk just could not get a run. Jamie Carr on here, big tick. I think it's got the ability to get past both Command Approved and Bistro. If it does run in this race, I would suggest so. It's going to be running up in Sydney. If that's the case, Command Approved from barrier number 1, Bistro on its outside. I think you're just going to need to be the quickest horse across the last 300 metres as you get round the bend. And from what I've seen on Command Approved, it's got a lot of speed to burn. The horses behind it are going to be Clarity, Fishing, and Capital Theatre. I can't see any of those 3 being able to draw back on Command Approved. And I think it'll be able to burn Bistro off. So with Alpha One gone, with Spacewalk expected to run up in Sydney, I've got Command Approved on top with Bistro just behind it. Now, it'd be interesting to see. I think Fission's probably the one that may get in for third behind it. But yeah, Command Approved for me, Worm. How did you see it?
Yeah, 100% agree. I agree with you that Spacewalk, I feel, will go to Sydney. 1200 looks better than the 1,000-meter race here. Yeah, agree with the speed map. Commander Approved. I think he's just a little speed demon there. Loved his 2 wins this prep. Last start, I thought if you watch the replay, and I'll maybe chuck it up at the end of the show, its head carry was really high. So I reckon it's cost itself a length or two. I don't know why he decided to do it. In the last 50, he decided to just, I don't know if he balked or just wanted to lay out a bit. He looked in trouble. He looked tired. But then the last 50, he went again. If the track plays like it does this week, well, I don't know how they get past this horse. Bistro is going to sit outside. Yeah, it was a nice win at Sandown. It's probably meeting the same field. If you take Spacewalk out, you add Command Approved in, probably the same, but he had it on his own terms. Yes, he was first up off a couple of jump outs. He tied the last 50, and from memory, I thought he was kicking away, but last 50, Capital Theatre was gaining on him. So, yeah, I just don't know about Bistro. Nice for win, can't knock it, but just
it was a soft
four. He's not going to find the front as easy as he did last week. Last start.
No, I agree. I think it was a soft win by Bistro. To be clear, if Spacewalk does win here, I've got Spacewalk on top of Command Approved. As I said, I think Jamie will be able to go out 3 wide and run past them. I think it'll get an enormous run into the race. But I'm heavily leaning that it's going to be running up in Sydney.
Yeah. You'll hear my thoughts later. We'll go back to talking points, Matty. You wanted to talk about a few horses from previous episodes moving into autumn.
Yeah, mate. Look, today's racing was a brilliant card to be betting on for the Australian Day card at Ladbrokes Hillside. And that Sandown course is an absolute ripper. The 550 metre straight, it allows the good horses an opportunity. And I think we saw that with Jacquino, who I thought was potentially a little bit short in that particular race, but did Damien Lane not find a gap? Now, what I wanted to talk about here was more the fact that today's card, a lot of these horses we were talking about this time last year, Gentleman Roy, Umgawa, Dragonstone, Jacquino, a lot of these horses, Star Patrol, a lot of these horses 12 months ago, we were finding during these episodes. And we weren't necessarily saying these are ones to go hard on in these particular races at this time of year. But these are the progressive horses that are going to be winning metro grade races in the next 12 to 24 months. I think we saw that today with Star Patrol, Jacquino, which you found very, very early, and Gentleman Roy, which I think we may have found on our first or second episode of the show.
Yep.
I think it's just a good one for the listeners to be wary of this time of year. You don't need to be putting the house on these horses. It's more around finding ones for future cards.
Yeah. It's attack your race by race and meeting by meeting. There's going to be meetings and races that you shouldn't bet into. Yeah, we're going to have a little flutter, but yeah, just attack the ones you want to have a bet in. And that's how I think you can win on the punt is if you attack the right races, you attack them when you can win. You can't win on every race. So you don't bet in every race the same stake or whatever, how you stake it, but you just pick it apart. You listen to who you want to listen to. They'll talk about a few horses, and if you like it, jot them down, put them in your black book. They might not win this week, but they are ones that you follow. Try and find its grand finals. You can make money. It's interesting you talk about Gentleman Roy. I was hearing after they won, they're targeting the Doncaster with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that will definitely be a grand final for it. But it is a consistent horse and keeps putting in time after time after time. Like today's race, How tough was it across those last 200 metres? I thought it was going to get past two or three times.
Especially the numbers it was doing up front. I'm like, oh, what has Mark Zara done here? First up, going a bit too quick. Your horses are a touch soft first up, but geez, at the 200 metre mark, I put up the white flag and said, no, it's gone. Dawn Passage was going past it, but then, geez, it's like he waited for him and said, no, I'm not letting you go past me.
No, that's it. And Umgawa, I thought it was in with a chance as well. Faded very badly across that last 50 metres, and I think might have even missed the placings altogether. But it'll find its right race. Today was probably just not suited as well as what Gentleman Roy was.
No, even like the 2-year-old races, I thought we may have seen a contender for the Blue Diamond, but geez, I couldn't take anything out of these races. They were just okay to poor. I reckon we race 3, the instructor, he's a nice 1,000-metre horse. He won't run 1,200. And then the Sonic Boom, that was a nice race. That was probably a B set at best. That's just my opinion. But even looking, normally I've found one by now and I'm honing in on one to move forward, but I still haven't found one. Like the instructor's 550. Geez, I'm happy to take him on in the Blue Diamond now at $6. King's Gambit's 460. I don't think they go towards the Blue Diamond. He runs on Saturday. So then you look at Barber, $8. He's a dead set war horse who can win. VC, who won on the other week down Flemington, he looks a good horse at $10. And then you got Don Corraline, who's from the Snowden, who's definitely coming down here, $12. Charm Stone hasn't had a run, and he looks a very good, nice horse at $14. So if you want to play futures, there's a couple you can really make a book for and get in front, because the first 2 favourites are false favourites.
Yep, no, I don't disagree. Out of those, VC I've got on top, and mate, we're only 4 weeks out from the Blue Diamond.
Yeah, and that's what I was meaning. Like, we aren't that far off. And I normally find one. The other one I don't mind at $21 is Ganjitano for the Amy and Ash Yagi. Go and watch its first up run at Caulfield. $21. I think they're setting it for the prelude or preview, whatever the one is, in 2 weeks. So he's my early ticket, $21, because if he wins that, you're not getting it. But yeah, Barber, VC, as you mentioned, Don Caroline, Charm Stone, and Ganjitano are the ones I'm honing in on to make a book.
Yes. No, it'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. I think we'll find what the preludes are in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time at Shandown.
Yes.
WhatsApp, guys. If you want to join our WhatsApp, I'll put my email down the bottom. Just email me. We'll put you straight through on WhatsApp. Yeah, it's free. Everything we do is free, so there's no hidden paywalls, no hidden costs. Just come and join the fun. Been a really good week, finding plenty of winners. It's been fat from Saturday to this coming Thursday. It's been really, really fat. And yeah, we're not going to win all the time, but you might as well join while the heat is hot, because yeah, this is some month for the community. We're sitting at close to 30 units profit. So yeah, we are finding the right races to bet into, and everyone else is contributing, from dog tips to everything else. So if you want to join, email me. I'll put it down the bottom. Like and subscribe our channels from YouTube to any podcast platform. Get them as they drop. And yeah, please share within your friends or your community of our podcast, because yeah, we enjoy doing this each and every week for free.
And you mentioned that about 30 units up for the month, which is an absolute cracker. Well played, mate. But probably should have been about 80 units. You were very soft on Gentleman Roy. I thought could have stuck the boots in.
Yeah, mate, I am kicking myself. There's, you got to enjoy the wins and all that, but yeah, today could have been fatter than Saturday, but just as I said, those market moves for some of those horses today scared the bejesus out of me. And yeah, Star Patrol, 2s out the 3s. We chipped down because of the drift. I know people say bet the drift, but I don't. I like to bet with the market because that tells you a story. The instructor held its price. We won. Gentleman Roy, yep, I
Star
put
Patrol.
Gentleman Roy. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I chipped right down, and then you said I've left the zero off, which was 100% right. But hey, win's a win. We take them, we move on, and we enjoy the month. So yeah, come and join, guys. Plenty of action going on, from tennis to soccer to dogs to horses to trots to NFL, and come AFL time, I'm tipping it's going to be dead set on like Donkey Kong. So yeah, come and join. Free community. You can come and go as you like. There's no cost, and yeah, it's up to you if you want to come and join. All free. WhatsApp. Around the grounds, Matty, where do you want to go for your around the grounds? I hear this could be a first for the podcast.
Could be a first for the podcast. I had a bit of time this afternoon. So decided that let's do a quaddie up at Sydney.
Oh, hang on. The quaddie.
So we're going to go through all 4 legs. I'll go through them exceptionally quickly. And
Yep.
I'll give you who I've got on top.
Yep.
And
So-
then I'm going to, and then I'll be giving you my quaddie numbers at the end.
Yep, beautiful. So punters, press pause, get a pen and paper, write these down, because we're having a first here. Around the grounds quaddie at Sydney. Now, take it away, Matty.
Race 7. Now, as we mentioned, Spacewalk also nominated in Melbourne. I've got it running in Sydney, and I've got it on top, clearly on top at 2:30. Now, it didn't get a run against Maria Mia in that race. It's got huge talent, and I expect it to be winning here. Look, the Horn Unicorn, very disappointing. Still got ability, so that'll be going into the quaddie. And Destination, the mystery shot, I've got as overs. Destination is huge overs in this. I'll probably be playing it alongside Spacewalk, but Spacewalk clearly on top. Race 8 will be Golden Mile on top. Now, good to see that we've got the Caulfield Guineas winner back here. Lovely to have him back. The overs, though. Nicolino Vito at $20. Worm, have I missed something here?
Yeah, I think the price is wrong. I'm with you. Yeah, continue on. I've got a few questions for this race.
All right. Look, at its best, it wins this race and it beats Golden Mile. So at $20, that will definitely be going into the quaddie. As I mentioned 2 weeks ago, Maria Mia, it needed probably that extra 100 to 200 metres. It's found the extra 100 metres here, and it will definitely be going into the quaddie, as well as Forbidden Love first up. These 4 horses are exceptionally talented, and I've got these 4 horses an arm's length away from anything else in this field. So quite comfortable to play these 4 horses in the quaddie, and we'll be finding the winner. But I do have Golden Mile. I think it'll improve coming back first up at 220. I do have it on top. Worm race 9. I've got Niffler on top here. Now, the other Waller runner, Bold Mac, it had its measure second up back in August last year. So Niffler at $10. Bold Mac, I think it was paying around about $3. I'll be with Niffler on top. Bold Mac will be going in, and I'll be putting Major Artie in more as cover than anything else. I do see this more as a 2-horse race between the 2 Waller runners, Niffler and Bold Mac. And then to bring us home, look, we're, again, another shorty in Think About It. Now, I can think about it at Warwick Farm paying $2.40. I don't know if I can take it paying $2 here at Rose Hill. So am I paying $12. It made ground last start when nothing else was making ground. Ran home for third. Now, the rail, correct me if I'm wrong, Worm out 5 or 6 metres here. So a little bit of a question mark whether it's going to be making ground, but it will definitely be going in the quaddie at $12, along with Grass Illustala with J-Mac on board. Now, the Big Grey was exceptionally impressive last start, and I think it's one that we do need to be putting into the quaddie. So, Worm, I'm going to recap those for the listeners. Sydney quaddie. Race 7 will be Spacewalk, the Horned Unicorn, Destination, and Mystery Shot. Destination, huge overs. Race 8, Golden Mile, Nicolino Vito, Maria Mia, and Forbidden Love. Race 9, Niffler, Bold Mac, and Major Artie for cover. Race number 10, Think About It and So Am I, along with Grass Illistola. 144 combinations. Can quite comfortably get 50% of that.
Yeah. So that's numbers 10, 4, 8, and 1 first leg. Second leg, 9, 4, 1, and 5. I know I've got them out of order. Third leg, 3, 4, and 2. And the last leg, 7, 11, 4.
7, 11,
yep,
and 4.
Beautiful. Let's just dissect this quickly. The Expressway. Forbidden Love rated 111, obviously off its Group 1s a couple of preps ago. Jumped out like a jet. Its next best is Golden Mile, 102 rater, and then the next one's Nicolita Vito at 93. Geez, that's a fair difference.
Absolutely. And big fan of Forbidden Love. Big fan of Forbidden Love. And first up, its form isn't bad.
I thought it jumped out well. I'm not knocking Golden Mile. I think he's more a sprinter, 1,200, 1,400 meter horse. He jumped out well too. And Nicolita Vito, that's stupid. $23. You can easily work around those 3. I just don't mind the price here. $3 Forbidden Love. Obviously didn't come up last prep. Might be just an autumn horse. If barrier 1, jump, lead, as we predicted, play on pace, geez, $3 could be absolutely stealing.
I don't disagree with you, and I could have easily had that on top. Look, I think I told you, if I'm just looking at the pure numbers, I've got Nicolito Vito on top. At its best, it can win this race. I think, though, Golden Mile will improve coming back, carrying the 55 kilos versus Nicolito Vito carrying 58.5. Potentially, that may be the difference. Forbidden Love, though, it's going to be right in this. And as we mentioned, Maria Mia, it probably shouldn't have won last start. It did because a few got held up behind it, including one of our tips, Spacewalk. So Maria Mia, I think it's going to be right in this, up to its eyeballs.
Yeah, 100%. Good race. There was only 4 accepted for the race or nommed for the race earlier in the week, and there's a few little gremlins that shouldn't be in there. They should have left it a 4-horse race. Would have been good, but that's a different story. That's what happens when you pay down to 10th. Anyway, that's a different story for a different episode. My around the grounds, I've only got one. We're going to go Friday night. Cranbourne race 3. Any zoo will do race 3 from the King Keys yard. Lovely jump out of Cranbourne. Out wide, did it easily. Time was okay. Blinkers were on in the jump out. They stay on, which is a big tick for me. Forget start 1 at the Valley last prep. He was just back out the wide, but I think it ran the quickest 200 of the race. So still hit the line well from where it was. I think it's come back a bigger, better horse. I think it's around the 250 mark. I think we can get involved. Anything down to $1.80. Tick, tick, boom. Friday night, fill up. Multi, Matty, what do you want to chuck in the multi this week?
We'll keep it to the places. Spacewalk, exceptionally short, around about $1.30, $1.25. We will still be going to place. I believe it'll win, but we'll go the place for the multi. We are on a roll. Bold Mac the place. I think at $1.50, it's the best bet within that particular race, even though I do have Niffler on board. It's got a car park of a draw, so I'm just a little nervous about that. I'm confident Bold Mac will be running the place. And, Worm, we will be putting in some value with Nicolito Vito at $3.50 and probably wait a little bit closer to the start of the race, I think you'll find that should drift out to about $4.
So if we get it this week, we'll probably have a 6-leg multi. We're just growing in confidence. The more we get it, the more legs we put in. So you've put in Sydney Race 3, Sydney Race 7, Spacewalk the place, Sydney Race 8, Nicolita Vito the place, Sydney Race 9, Bold Mac the place. I'm going to chuck one in, Moonee Valley, Race 6, Luna Cat the win. That comes to $22. If you don't like Luna Cat the win, chuck it in the place. Won't talk you out of it either, but I'm going to go balls deep here and have a crack here to the win and probably get 3 out of 4. We'll go back to the normality. Pineapple of the week. Wow.
Ooh.
I love it because I get the first week and I'm confident I get it. Then we go to the second week for me, and I always find the shittest racing to do it. Now, I said to you, like, if Thursday was on Saturday, we'd have multiple pineapples. I'll be throwing them in the air, but geez, it was hurting.
Would you like to hand it over?
No. I found one.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I would have been putting on Spacewalk like that.
Yep, and it's interesting you say that because we are going Moonee Valley, race 4. Now, I'm predicting...
I've already previewed that race.
Yeah. So I'm predicting Spacewalk goes to Sydney.
Okay.
But if it does stay in Melbourne, I'm keen to be with number 4, Command Approved.
Good.
I'm keen to take on Spacewalk. I think, it was unlucky. Should have won. Coming out of a nice race, but I don't think it's a 1,000-meter horse. Number 4, Command Approved, 1,000-meter horse, 1,000-meter race. They're the things you got to. 3 from 3 from the 1,000 Spacewalks. 2 starts for a third. So at $4, I'm happy to have a crack here. Jump, lead, and win. If it finds the rail, which it should, it'll take catching. Alpha 1 Spacewalk. Alpha 1's definitely out. Spacewalk should come out, but if he doesn't, I'm keen to take him on. It could start $1.80 if Spacewalk comes out, but I'm still keen to get involved with whatever price they put up, whatever horses it's up against, because I think Blake Shin on is a tick, and I will be celebrating race 4, number 4, Command Approved.
Okay. Oh, we both had it on top. Consider if Spacewalk does go north.
Yeah, it should. I think it's more suited up there. Yes, it's a lot easier down here, but I don't think it's a 1,000-meter horse. And going 1,100 back to the 1,000 second up, I don't know. That just doesn't. Not a good prep, I don't think, or decision.
Yep. Okay. No, I like it.
Anything else to add, mate?
Anything else to add? No, mate. After a great day of Australian Day racing, again, hats off to Sandown. I think they put together an absolutely sensational betting card today. And as I said, that track played amazingly well. They gave everyone an opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the Valley. I think's got a couple of interesting races, and I'm really keen on playing quite a few races up north in Sydney.
Oh, yeah, they're very late. Your quaddie could be very interesting 2 hours of racing for the community.
Absolutely. Get involved.
Yeah, definitely get involved. We'll be back next week for, I don't know what racing it'll be. It might be, is it? Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to guess. I was going to say Lightning Stakes Day.
We're about you to go to Flemington, aren't we?
I think we are, because then the Prelude's the week after.
Yes. Where is on that? Where is the Blue Diamond going to be?
At Sandown.
Okay.
It'll be at the second rail as a second winning post as well, further down the straight, because they will use the chute. So yeah, there's been a couple of races with the second winning post, and yeah, it's a bit weird when watching it, but yeah, it's you got to do what you got to do.
Got the next 2 Saturdays.
Yeah,
got the next 2 Saturdays at Sandown.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird. Yep, right. That's throwing a spanner. Then it'll probably be Fleming. Yeah, I don't know. Yep. But we'll be back next Thursday, as I'm absolutely rattled. So we might have ended on a negative, but the positive will be we'll be back next week. for more action at our Sandown. Have a good week, Matty. Hopefully we've filled your pockets up. More importantly, hope you fill your pockets up. And yeah, we'll just end the show with our favourite man to finish us off.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes to show that good things do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.